Madame, Monsieur, je dirais bonjour. Nous sommes samedi 27 novembre 2021. Il est à présent minuit passé de 17 minutes à l'est des États-Unis. Je sors ce soir avec le docteur Pierre Kamga pour commenter l'actualité. Comme d'habitude, nous le faisons en général une fois par semaine. Et aujourd'hui, nous allons un peu recueillir son avis sur l'événement qui s'est déroulé dernièrement avec Kondo Titi. Nous allons aussi parler de la lettre de Maurice Kamto suite à cet événement de Kondo Titi. Et je vais un peu recueillir son point de vue sur le blocus dont a échoué le groupe de politiciens qui avait pour mission de retoucher le code électoral consensuel. Et dans un dernier point, nous allons un peu toucher sur... nous allons un peu parler de digitalisation. Nous allons commencer à introduire Kézanne petit à petit. Et je vais leur demander, n'est-ce pas, ce qu'ils pensent de la digitalisation. Comment est-ce que la digitalisation pourra nous aider à améliorer, n'est-ce pas, nos conditions de vie. Docteur Kamga, bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Nestor. Et bonsoir à ceux qui sont avec nous ce soir, ou ce matin au Cameroun.
Formidable. Notre sœur Banadie est déjà en studio. Je vais l'inviter. Elle est porte-parole de l'UPC, dont nous serons trois sur ce plateau pour cet échange. Alors, Madame Banadie, bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Monsieur Nana, et bonsoir à Monsieur Kamga. C'est un plaisir pour moi d'être sur ce panel avec vous. C'est ma première fois d'être avec Monsieur Pierre Kamga. Enchanté.
Ouais, bonsoir, madame.
Formidable, formidable. Déjà,
je devrais dire bonjour parce qu'il est déjà le matin au Cameroun.
Oui, nous sommes le matin ici. Nous sommes samedi, il est minuit, passé de quelques 17 minutes chez nous.
Voilà. Ici, c'est le matin, il est 6 heures.
Il est 6 heures. Et on ne t'a pas lâché. Hein? Tu as l'électricité là derrière toi. Ok, d'accord. Déjà, je vais vous demander de nous accorder une minute de silence pour Madame l'enseignante de français et les 3 élèves qui ont été assassinés à El Kondo Titi par des inconnus. Et après ça, nous allons commencer. OK? Permettez-moi un instant. Une minute de silence, s'il vous plaît. Merci beaucoup. Alors, Nadia, toi, tu es au Cameroun. Comment est-ce que tu avais accueilli cette nouvelle et qu'est-ce qui se dit dans la presse par rapport à cet événement de Kondo Titi?
Monsieur Nestor Nana, vraiment, c'est pathétique. Hein? Personne ne va recevoir cette nouvelle en avoir une humeur un peu pour être content parce que, premièrement, nous sommes les parents. Je parle sur le contrôle des Camerounais à propos des enfants. Et également, cette enseignante de français qui est morte, c'est la femme de quelqu'un. C'est une mère de famille et c'est l'espoir de toute une génération. Donc, nous pensons au niveau de l'UPC que les crises du Nozo doivent prendre fin. Parce que si nous continuons à critiquer, nous tirons les leçons, rien n'est fait. On doit toucher plutôt la cause. Parce que ça, ce sont les conséquences d'une guerre qui ne devrait pas être, qui est nourrie par le régime en place. Donc, nous pensons et nous rentrons sur les causes. Évidemment, nous savons tous les causes au Cameroun et le pays, le gouvernement camerounais sait quoi il peut faire, ils savent qui il doit rencontrer, mais ils ne veulent pas. Donc, nous pensons que en tant que parents, en tant qu'une société, les tueries ne sont pas bien, nous n'acceptons pas cela. Et c'est l'éducation de notre pays qui est attaquée. Parce que vous allez constater que depuis un certain bon bout de temps, l'éducation au Cameroun est attaquée. On a eu la première, c'était la petite fille Caroline Dialé à Boya, après Bamenda, et maintenant nous sommes encore rentrés à l'université de Boya, et aujourd'hui ça est Kondo Titi. Donc ça veut dire l'éducation de notre pays est attaquée, c'est touché. Et quand l'éducation est touchée, ça veut dire le pays est en péril, parce que c'est une éducation qui est là pour développer un pays, parce que c'est l'éducation qui développe un pays. Les ministres sont passés par l'école. Les ingénieurs sont passés par l'école. Tout le monde est passé par l'école. Donc, sans l'école, un pays est fini. Ça veut dire nous sommes foutus. Et là, j'appelle au gouvernement camerounais de faire ce qu'il doit faire parce que c'est très important. C'est très important. Donc, voilà.
Nadia, je vais rester avec toi. Est-ce qu'il y a eu une communication gouvernementale à ce sujet?
Jamais. Jusqu'à présent, on n'a vu personne. On n'a pas vu le porte-parole du parti au pouvoir, le RDPC, qui est Femme Dongo. On n'a même pas suivi le MINAT, celui qui est l'administration territoriale, parce que c'est quelqu'un qui est très vocal. Quand il s'agit de quelque chose qui intrigue le gouvernement, il serait la première personne, il sort, il parle. Mais quand il s'agit de la vie des Camerounais, quand il s'agit des choses très importantes, parce que, monsieur Nana, je vais vous dire, nous avons un gouvernement qui donne la valeur aux choses qui ne sont pas importantes. Si c'était par rapport peut-être quelqu'un, ou bien on a touché un policier, il va sortir, il va dire les abeilles. Mais quand on touche aux citoyens lambda, on touche aux enfants, aux enseignants. Et là, j'interpelle également la ministre de l'enseignement secondaire, Madame Nalova Lyonga, parce que les enseignants qui sont de ce côté souffrent beaucoup. Il y a un moment où elle a demandé aux enseignants qui ne sont pas partis de rentrer au poste. Et elle voit qu'il n'y a pas la sécurité là-bas. Ces enseignants partent là-bas sans avoir été protégés par les billets et tout.
Nadia,
elle a coupé le salaire. Elle est...
Oui? D'accord, Nadia, attends un peu. Je vais te laisser parler. Mais je voulais quand même dire au public que j'ai rendu le lien public. S'il y a des gens qui veulent venir en studio intervenir, sentez-vous libre. Ne croyez pas que nous sommes en train de tout bloquer. Donc, à mon ami Mathurin Wax, qui est en Inde, qui nous suit depuis l'Inde, j'ai rendu le lien public parce que nous sommes suivis à travers le monde. Donc, Nadia, tu continues avec ton analyse. Je pense que je vais te revenir, hein, Nadia, si tu me permets. Je veux que le docteur Kamgia puisse dire quelque chose là-dessus. Mais docteur Kamgia, il va falloir que tu considères utiliser ton headset parce que tout à l'heure, quand Nadia parlait, nous avions un écho. Je pense que l'écho venait de ton côté. Et je vais te demander de mettre ton headset, docteur Kamgia, s'il te plaît, et de le brancher. Et maintenant, je vais te demander ce que tu penses de tout ce que Nadia vient de nous présenter. Parce que nous sommes donc devant une situation où il y a extermination de nos compatriotes. Beaucoup sont en train de mourir sur l'étendue du territoire. Et on observe un mutisme du gouvernement. Docteur Kamdiato, tu es mute, ton micro est mute. Il faut mute ton micro, s'il te plaît. Mais bien, tu peux porter l'enfant, il n'y a pas de problème. Nous sommes tous des parents ici.
Yeah, I was just adjusting my headset when you were saying.
Yes.
Can you repeat what you said, the question?
I say, what do you think about the presentation of Nadia? He spoke about the crimes happening in Cameroon, the killings going on. Recently, we had a French teacher that was killed, plus 3 students in a condo teaching. They were killed, and the government didn't say a word. What do you think about it?
It's becoming like a broken record. It's the same thing all over again. And I really don't expect the government to say anything, because when have they said anything of substance in those circumstances? They say things when it concerns the people who have connections. But children who are killed, a French teacher who is killed, if he doesn't have connections, that doesn't concern them. That's a pattern that we know of that government. It's no surprise to me. And what can I say? The thing that I observe is that all those attacks against civilians, not all, but most of them seem to be directed at schools. Maybe Nadia can tell us what's going on. Why is it that those attacks are mostly directed at schools?
No. Nadia cannot tell you why it is why they are attacking schools. She is observing like you and I. She doesn't know anything about it. She's not part of these people killing. She's not a soldier. She's not working for the government, and she's not part of the Amazonia movement. No, she's not. So why will you ask her that question? Are you planning something, Dr. Kamgia?
No, I'm just thinking that.
Why will you ask her that question?
No, I'm just thinking that being on the field, there may be things that we don't know that she's aware of. That's all.
Nadia.
Frankly, it's a very
Okay,
simple.
let me throw some light to what he's saying. Because when this crisis started in 2016, but let me tell you, this is a historical trouble. It started since 1972 when the federal constitution was changed. This is just an accumulated grievance from the people from the English-speaking regions of Cameroon. So let's say it escalated in 2016. When this thing began, teachers and lawyers took to the streets. And the commanditors of the Ambazonians, they decided to stop school because they know that education will so much affect the government in place. Now, the recent attack in schools is just a signal, because recently we saw, how do they call it, the CDN meeting that took place in Toronto. There is division in both camps. In the Ambazonian side, they are not together. Everybody is saying anything. And you understand that some other person, another commanditor from the Ambazonian side, will come and say, let school begin. Another person will come and say, let school stop. Okay? There is so much controversy to why there is recent attack in our schools. Because it will send a lot of signals. Be it from the government, be it from the side of the separatist fighters. They want the international community to come and react. If it is that it is the Ambazonians that are continuing the attacks in these schools, I tell you, they want the international communities to come. Now, we cannot judge or we cannot conclude that it is the Ambazonians that planted the bomb in Boya, that killed those children, that killed the little girl in Bamenda, and the other one in Boya. For the case of Boya and Bamenda, we saw that it was the military, okay, the security forces of Cameroon. But the other ones in the University of Boya that recently took place, and that in Ekondo Titi, these are unidentified gunmen. We cannot judge. But the only thing we can conclude is that the recent attacks in school is to send a strong signal on both sides. It is a strong signal because the no education is a force of a country. That is why you will see the Ambazonians will insist no school. After the attack in Bamenda, one Ambazonian came out, a commanditor whom I know, he lives out of the country. He said no school. And I saw another video circulating. He says, if any Amba goes to school, he should be caught and killed. So it is very difficult for us to determine the reasons why the recent killings are being exaggerated. But I tell you, it's a strong signal, and they want to say that we are still in charge. They want to, they want to occupy. They call it the policy of perfect occupation. They want to show that things are still going on. Tranquility hasn't returned. They want the international community to come and observe and take actions, which for me, it is very difficult. Because if Cameroonians cannot resolve their problem, I tell you, it is not an international community that will come and solve. The UN can do nothing. They can do nothing.
But who can
we
do
can
what?
only solve the UN. This is what we have decided and put it in action. So it is very difficult.
No, Nadia, hold on 1 second. We cannot just rush to who can do what. We can. That's a different story. For now, no, it's
I am not in accord with what you say. The United Nations cannot decide for the fate of Cameroon. No. Even during the Human conference, with the presence of the UN, they just adopted what was agreed by both parties. They cannot decide for Cameroon. I tell you that's the truth.
Nadia, you will talk. Trust me. I have few people here. Let us try to allow people to throw a word in. The decision.
Another panelist, Waka Macho.
Nadia, let me lead this place. The decision to end the war in Cameroon require the input of every single Cameroonian, not politicians. Actually, not politicians.
Don't say not politician. No, you cannot say including politicians.
No, Nadia, let me finish. Nadia, you will talk. I will give you the floor. Why are you rushing? You have time here. I strongly believe that people in Cameroon have no moral values to put an end to this war. It has been going on since 2016. That is a long time. It's time for us to call on the international community. The United Nations, you need to come in and stop this. It is
No.
too much. We lost soldiers, we lost civilians. You guys have been there saying no, no, no. You know why you are saying no. You know why you're saying no. I am very firm on that. The United Nations Security Council is the organ that will go and handle this situation, because I've been counting the death, soldiers, civilians, since 2016. That is a long time. We cannot play philosophy on people dying. We cannot play philosophy when we see the blood all over the nation. Dr. Kamga, you have the floor. Your turn.
Well, two things. By historical norms or historical knowledge, I have my doubts as to the effectiveness of the United Nations, because France is part of the 5 veto members at the United Nations.
You believe in what? What is your solution? What is your solution?
Let me finish.
No, we need a solution, because what you're doing is you're breaking the morale. So what are you saying? Because Dr. Kamga, this war has been going on since 2016.
No, I'm not breaking the morale.
So how are we going to handle it?
I'm going to
propose
how you handle it.
Let us keep the negative away and look for a solution. I'm in the solution now.
All right. Well, what my point is that if history is anything to go by, I'm afraid that United Nations intervening may not be that much different from their intervening in 1950s and 60s. And therefore, at this point, we have something that we did not have in those days. And that's a very strong diasporan community of Cameroonians who have the brains, who have the means, who have the will. The problem is, how can we organize them? Diaspora can really be a force here to force things to go a certain way, to watch out on. Yes.
Dr. Kamga,
yes.
How long have you been in America? I've been here for 25 years. What about you? Tell me.
About the same.
About 25 years. This war has been going on since 2016. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm talking about us getting more.
It is in our country. We were born there.
Yeah, I'm talking about us getting
2016,
more.
you are 2021, you're counting on diaspora? Are you serious?
I'm serious in the sense that when I look at the United Nations, okay, who is going to come? The Secretary General is going to appoint a committee. How is he going to appoint a committee? The 5 permanent members of the Security Council are going to exercise their veto rights and designate what they want. And the French are going to weigh in. They are going to send stooges of the French government.
Is that a solution? You're explaining why it will fail? Dr. Kamga, are you explaining why the process will fail? I'm looking for the solution.
Yes.
So, but you're explaining why it will fail. Is that what you're doing?
No.
He's analyzing.
I'm just warning you on not.
I'm not looking for analysis.
No, hold on. I'm just warning you on not counting too much, because I remember that in 2018, after the 7th of October, when the Cameroonian voted Mr. Maurice Kamto, president-elect of Cameroon, a lot of Cameroonians were convinced that the trips that he took to Addis Ababa and other things, that the international community was going to intervene and make sure that the African Union chart was observed. It said the union principle were going to be observed. The American even issued a statement requesting. It was a written.
What is the solution? What is the solution?
Okay, well, let me finish then, because it was
I have a lot of talking points here.
Yeah, but it was a written
you don't want to spend 24 hours here tonight, Dr.
Kamga. I know.
So give me
my whole point is that rushing the United Nations in, I'm not sure that it is the solution. That's all I'm saying. I'm not sure. It is one. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that at all. I have doubts that it's going to be the solution. Why? Not because the United Nations cannot do anything, but because the French are going to torpedo everything. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. So you don't have a solution. You don't.
I don't.
Good. Nadia, what is the solution?
Monsieur Nana, I will first of all tell you that it is better for you to allow people to analyze, because for us to give a solution, we need to start from the starting point.
Nadia,
Because you're trying to tell us that the United Nations has a fault. I agree with Monsieur Pierre Kamga that the United Nations can do nothing. And now I bring you the solution, because if the United Nations could have a lot of power, okay, it would have happened in 1961. Let me tell you, the terms of the 1961 conference, the United Nations was an observer. They came to adopt. They didn't came to implement. They came to adopt. They didn't come to propose. They came to adopt what Cameroonians have decided. The English-speaking Cameroonians and the French Cameroonians. And I bet you things have changed. Okay, we have received our independence, which is not really the best, but yet Cameroonians are the only people who can solve these problems. Let me go, Mr. Nana. Allow me to talk.
Which Cameroonian?
I am bringing on the solution.
Okay, go ahead.
Pardon?
Bring it.
Yeah.
Which Cameroonian? Which ones?
Listen, Mr. Nana. You cannot dogmatize everything. I must not think the way you are. We need to be objective when we are analyzing.
It started in 2016.
We need to be. Pardon?
It started in 2016.
Okay, if I may,
we are not supposed to be emotional. I want us to put emotions aside and be objective. Because if we fit our part, if we fit our listeners or our audience with emotion, it wouldn't help anything.
Nadia, Nadia, don't go there.
Can I interject?
Let me tell you.
Wait. Patience here. Let us be very careful with the word we are using. I am very firm. I am looking for solutions. I am not looking for analysis, and I'm the one asking questions. This is not about emotions, okay? I have some fact. Fact number one. The war started in 2016. This is the 6th year in the war. I cannot be analyzing this. I am looking for solutions on this platform right now. That's what I'm asking. So be patient with yourself and just answer my questions. That's all. It's not,
all
this
right.
is not about emotion.
May I try something?
Let Nadia finish, then I'll come to you. Nadia, you had the floor. I'm looking for solutions.
Yeah, Mr. Nana, we cannot propose solutions without weighing on the both sides. Okay, we need to have plan A, plan B. Our plan A was that the United Nations could help, but till now, the United Nations can do nothing. Now, let me tell you the perfect solution. Cameroonians can take the bull by the horn and solve this problem. If Cameroonians do what happened in Guinea-Conakry, they took to the streets, they decide on their fate, these things will change. And let me tell you, if all Cameroonians take to the streets, in the north, in the south, in the east, in the west, the United Nations will come in. But if we are having a lukewarm attitude of division, which is one of the strategies of the regime in place, they use what we call the divide and rule method. They refuse Cameroonians not coming together. So the only solution is for Cameroonians to say enough is enough. People have been killed since 2016. Over 6,000 people have left Cameroon. 4,000 civilians have died. Okay, the militaries, they keep dying, and these are people's children. So Cameroonians need to come together and decide that we need to end the war. We need to take to the streets everybody. Then you will have international committees coming to solve the problem. That's the only solution. Because I cannot even count on you, the diaspora. Because the diaspora we are having today, they are not together. They are selfish. Okay? Most of them, and you see, most of the commanditors of the Amazonians, they are diaspora too. You will not imagine that a Cameroonian diaspora will go on air and say, if you see any child who goes to school, you catch him and kill. Not up to a week, this declaration was made, and children were killed in a Kondo Titi. So it's to tell you that we have a diaspora who is self-centered. Okay, and if we do not abolish that attitude, I tell you, we wouldn't have something better in Cameroon. So the only solution is for Cameroonians to decide on their fate, come together, go to the streets and say enough is enough. The Cameroon military cannot surpass 25 million Cameroonians, no.
Very good.
The Cameroon military cannot kill 25 million Cameroonians, no.
That is very good.
So that's the only solution.
Nadia, that solution is a good solution, But I will allow Dr. Kamja to weigh in and say what he wants to say. But we need to think about the mindset. Do we have the mindset to pursue that route, to adopt
That is
that
why
solution?
I told you.
No, we'll talk about it.
That is why I told you.
We will come back to it. Think about it. We will come back. Okay. Let Dr. Kamja weigh in and maybe answer a part of my question before I come back to you. Dr. Kamja, you have the floor.
All right. My answer joins Ms. Nadia's position. Again, I'm a student of history on those things, and the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior.
Not
so
true.
What?
Not true.
Hold on.
It's not true.
Please.
It is not true. Dr. Kamja, listen. Don't do that. You're the medical doctor here, okay? This is not a scientific fact. That is a bullshit.
Okay.
It is not true.
Again, Nadia told you that.
Who will say some bullshit like this, Dr. Kamja?
Now, Nadia told you that we need to analyze this without emotion.
Are you analyzing? Then bring scientific fact.
Well,
if
I cannot talk, then my
go ahead.
When having me here.
No, go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay.
You have the floor.
Again, I will state a principle. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. That's known and proven everywhere.
It is not true, Dr. Kamja.
Wow.
Well, let's not argue on that. I guess we can reserve that.
I can bring it next time. We can talk about that chapter, that particular point.
That's good. Yeah, we can reserve that for another time. But any people here in the United States, the people who gained the freedom of the United States were not the British, not the French, not the Germans. They were American. The people who gained the freedom of France from their kings were not the British, not American, they were French. The people who gained the freedom of China were nobody else but the Chinese. The people who are going to gain the freedom of Cameroon are not the United Nations, not France, not the United States, is Cameroonians. And to do that, they have to do exactly what Nadia said. I have said that several times. Professor Franklin Nyamsi has said it. It's a numbers game. All the branches of the Cameroonian military are 14,834 men in 2018. These are CIA numbers and they are correct. And if you take the ruling elite that is made of crooks from all regions of the country, among which there's a predominant small tribal minority that we all know, take them all together, they cannot make 50,000 people. So take 50,000 civilians and add 15,000 military, that's 65,000 people. Okay, put them all in one camp. Give them Kalashnikovs and M5 and M16 and Abraham tanks. Give them all the weapons you want. And then put 27 million of Cameroonians on the other camp.
My God.
Who is going to win this war? So that's the simple solution. The Cameroonians have to have the guts to get in the street, put 500,000 people around Etudi and tell Mr. Biya, sir, your time is up, out.
That's it.
That's the solution. I'm sorry.
Okay,
that is the solution.
No, listen, you both are on the same page. You both agree on the fact that only Cameroonians can free Cameroon. That's what you both said. And you are using the populations, comparing the total population to
those who are holding the power.
Exactly, to those who are holding the power. Of course. Now the big question is, do we have the mindset for that?
Okay, let me
finish. Dr. Kamja, let me finish. Let me finish my question.
Yes.
Okay? Because you're referring to Nadia. She's doing a very good job with explaining. Maybe don't think I'm pushing away what you're saying, Nadia. I'm just trying to canalize the debate here. You say a lot of good stuff. Nadia just said Cameroonian diaspora are selfish.
That's this way. I should go to the right.
Okay? She said that. So this is about the mindset. Do we have the mindset of togetherness?
And let me address that point. That's what I was trying to address. It is true educational program like the one we are having now, then we will have people actually build that mindset. Because again, I say I am a student of history on that. The reason why we do not have that mindset is but because systematically the French destroyed that mindset. When the party of my sister Nadia was
We are done.
formed, oh no, please let me finish. I'm not going to let you interrupt me here.
Okay, go
When
ahead.
the party of my sister was formed, there was a mindset. The whole Bassa population started that. They were all in the same basket. They were all behind Umniobe. There was then the French systematically. I told you to read the book Cameroon. It's a very well researched book on
Dr.
that
Kemba,
field.
let me give you.
Me
No,
please
no,
let me
correction. I'll
finish
just
up.
do a correction there. No.
Yeah.
You said something that is very dangerous.
Which is what?
The UPC is not the Bassa population.
No. You didn't get me.
No,
Please.
correct that. Did you say that?
No. I'm
Okay.
telling you, I'm talking from facts, research facts,
Okay.
that it started with the Bassa people because by affinity, Umniobe being Bassa, the Bassas were more in there. That's why the pacification program that was put in place by the French started in Sanaga Maritime. It was limited to the Bassa because they recognized that that was the basis of the movement at that point. Then the movement took, because the ideas were not only good for Bassas, they were good for all Cameroonians. So
Yes.
other parts of Cameroon embraced the idea, but the match was lit in Bassa land. I'm not a Bassa, but I have to give them that credit. They did it. They started it.
Dr. Kemba, I'm talking about the mindset.
Okay.
To regulate
and I'm coming to say the following: that mindset existed at the beginning. The French recognized that and did everything to create all sorts of divisions on the basis of ethnicity. And for 70 years, they have cultivated that. So today, we are brought up with that idea of, oh, you are this and you are that, and that's how they keep playing us. That can come back again. That can come back again with new thought. So that is what is happening also in the diaspora. They keep playing on these divisions to keep us apart.
Who?
But people like Nadia, they are in Cameroon, and she's.
Doctor, be specific. Come on. I'm just trying to make sure that we are all on the same page with what you are saying. Who in the diaspora is keeping us apart?
Okay. I'm not going to name names, but you and I know that the regime uses money. The regime uses promises of positions, appointments, etc., to find the ones among us who are not very strong on principles, who are selfish enough to sell the country for money. And that's how they do it. And they play a lot on the tribal affiliation. The regime is mainly made currently of people of a certain tribe, and they try to, even in the diaspora, recruit mainly from that tribe. You know that.
Dr. Kamga, we will come back to that. I want Nadia to weigh in a little bit, okay? We will come back on the mindset because that is the key here. Nadia. Hello, Nadia?
She's frozen.
Nadia, you're frozen. What happened?
Okay, probably technical difficulties.
Okay. So, Nadia, please move a little bit so that we can have the network for you. I have a question for you. Now,
or send a written message. I mean, you can text to tell us what's going on.
Yes, I will do that. But I have to ask you the question. I cannot be talking and writing at the same time. You know, my audience is...
No, I'm talking to Nadia. She may be hearing us.
Okay, yeah, she locked out. She will come back again. I think she moved a little bit because the kids were playing. Dr. Kamga, your statement, the statement you just made, is a statement that I disagree with. Okay? You just said the regime is manipulating the process here so that we cannot get along. We cannot get together. Is that what you just said?
I'm saying that they have a big interest in doing that.
Okay.
It's a game. It's a
I'll come
scheme
back
that
to
has
you. Dr.
worked
Kamba,
well in the past for them.
I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that. Nadia, are you back, right? Nadia?
Yeah.
Welcome
yes,
back.
I'm listening.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. You did a good job with this togetherness point, because that's the key. And I went from there to ask if you think we have the mindset for it. And my question came because you did notice that the diaspora is not even together. Now,
Yeah.
Nadia, the diaspora is
Yeah.
supposed to be the leaders, because we grew up there in our native land and we went to see how people behave away. We are in a country of freedom, but we cannot get along. If we, the diaspora, cannot get along, do you think it is possible to get along in Cameroon?
Mr. Paul Nana, your question is very tactful, but I'll go on progressively.
You just call me Paul Nana.
It's Nestor.
I said Nestor Nana.
Okay. I heard Paul. Go ahead, Nadia.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm saying that your question is very tactful, and we need to treat this with caution. Like Mr. Pierre Kamga said, education is the pivot. If we're having a failed education, we are going to have a corrupt mindset. You should first of all know that Cameroon is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. You should know that. Okay? And that corrupt mindset comes from the fact that the regime in place brings what we call, I keep you hungry and I come with a plate of food to tempt you. They have so many policies. Let me go back to the law of 1968. That is the law on dual nationality, which has handicapped a lot of our diaspora. You know, you, Mr. Paul Nana, I believe that you're having the American nationality right now. Okay.
I do. I have it.
Am I sure?
Okay.
Do you know that if you're coming to Cameroon, you tempt a stranger? You're a stranger now in Cameroon. The Cameroonian government do not recognize you as a Cameroonian citizen. Do you know that?
I know, because I pay for visa. Every time I came there, I pay for visa.
Voila. Yeah. You pay 50,000 francs for 3 months in Cameroon, meaning you are a stranger. Our diaspora have been so tortured that they are having the mindset of, I get my meat, I enjoy myself. That is why you will notice most of the commanditors of the Amazonians living in the diaspora are selfish. They are selfish not because they want to be selfish. They are selfish because the policies of Cameroon do not permit them to have a transparent lifestyle. And at one point, the corrupt government will corrupt the poor people or the weak people to at one point compromise. That is why you will notice we are not in consensus because of the policies we have in place. And that is a policy implemented by the government, given by the France.
Now, if I may, Nadia, let me add a little bit to that.
Please, I will come back to you. I want Nadia to learn. Nadia, I really want you to be... Answer my question, please.
I am answering your question progressively, because if we need to answer, I cannot say yes or no, okay? I cannot say, we need to look for the causes. That is why we are having the Anglophone crisis, okay? These are the consequences of a problem. Let us give the causes why the Cameroonians are not together. The causes why the Cameroonian diaspora are selfish. They were not born selfish. The system in place permitted them or pushed them to be selfish.
Okay, so now one more question to you, Nadia. Based on the fact that the solution you're proposing is not possible, because
it is possible. No, it is possible.
Okay, what will make
it possible?
What will make it possible? I want to hear that.
Okay, the first possibility is a sensitization. It's for the need, for the mindset of Cameroonians from the north, south, east, and west to understand that together we stand. Okay.
Who will do that?
Unity, you and I can do it. As we are talking like that, we are sensitizing Cameroonians. You have a lot of audience. They are listening. They are following. And it is a sensibilization and a sensitization method. If we can call upon the medias, because let me tell you, communication is the third force of a country, of the world. So if we have a good communication on the way our mindset has been programmed, I think things will go on. It is very possible.
Yes.
And let me tell you one thing, Mr. Nestor Nana. Do you know that the regime in place has brainwashed the French-speaking Cameroonians, telling them that that is not your problem? We all had the declaration of the minister delegate at the Ministry of Justice. We all know his name. He said, "Tant que je bois mon matango, les anglophones peuvent mourir." Okay?
Yeah.
That is the mindset that the regime in place has inculcated in the minds of French-speaking Cameroonians. Most of them don't care about what is happening in Bamenda and in the southwest. Ce n'est pas notre problème, ça m'affecte à rien.
Let me,
So
Nadia,
I think
if I may, Nadia, I was going to try to add something to what you are saying. I'm very happy to hear you say that, because that has been a battle even within my own family. People do not recognize how much brainwash.
Dr. Kambia, which family are you talking about?
My own.
His immediate
family.
Okay.
I'm not talking of the CRM. I'm talking of my nuclear family in Cameroon.
Okay.
And I'm saying that through the French education and through religion, they have so much brainwashed people that people are convinced of things that are completely false, but they will die for it.
Good.
And that is something that has been purposefully put in place by the neo-colonial French power.
Yes.
They did it very methodically. So we have to deconstruct that. We have to destroy that in the minds of Cameroonians.
Okay.
And if we are successful in doing that, the thing will come all by itself.
I agree with both of you that if we can work on a mindset, things will be completely different, because that's where everything starts, in your mind. Now, the big question is, Nadia, this has been happening since 2016. And when you look at people on social media, you don't have a lot of us. You don't have a lot of shows like this that are focusing on key relevant issues. So, how long do you think it will take us?
Nestor, let me tell you one thing. I'm not going to be long. I'm not going to be long.
Dr. Kambia, you learn patience. Come on, let me learn. I am asking the question to Nadia, and then you will jump in. Nadia, how long do you think it will take us to really get people to understand? Because what we are arguing here, what we are talking about here, it comes down to one thing: human values. Seeing yourself as a human means what? What is the value of togetherness? It is all in the mind. So the necessity to reprogram our mind is like a rebirth. It's like a renewal. How long do you think it will take us to get our countrymen and women to see that they are losing nothing but earning more if they decide to change their mindset?
Yeah, Mr. Nestor Nana, it wouldn't take us a decade. It can take us a day if the communication is perfect. Cameroonians are intelligent people. Let me tell you, Cameroonians are brave. The only trouble is that we are not having a mass sensitization on the need of togetherness, on the need of united we stand and divided we fall. Let me tell you, Nestor Nana, in Cameroon, okay, the Anglophone crisis is a taboo topic. That is why you will notice even at the National Assembly, this topic has been avoided.
Exactly.
It is a taboo. Mimi Mefo was held because of this same trouble. A lot of Cameroonians have gone to jail, especially those in the MRC of Pierre Kamga's party. They are in jail just because they demanded for the stop of the Anglophone crisis. It's for us to understand now that the Anglophone crisis is a taboo, and that is why you will notice most medias in Cameroon avoid the topic. And even if they want to talk about the topic, they'll go in a stylish manner, they'll call the information, they'll code it and everything. they don't say the things the way it's supposed to happen. And I tell you, the most important thing for the sensitization to go on rapidly is to call on the media's communication experts to tell the people that we need to come together. If the communication is okay, I tell you, it wouldn't take a week. Cameroonians can go to the streets. If you are able to tell the Cameroonian why, the importance for him or she to go on the streets to demand for the stop of the Anglophone crisis, for the need for a rebirth of a new government in Cameroon, they will go to the streets. Cameroonians are brave. We are not chicken liver people. We just need our mindset to be reprogrammed. And it is the job of media men. It is the job of communication experts like you, like other medias, platforms. We have so many of them. Facebook, Instagram, Bado, Twitter. It's supposed to be used in a positive manner without informations being changed. So that's the only solution. I think it will work. We don't need a long period of time.
I buy that. Dr. Kamga, you have the floor now.
Yes, and je suis tellement content d'entendre ma sœur dire ça, because that tells me that at least some people have started.
Si tu es content, tu m'envoies l'argent, puis c'est moi qui l'ai invité.
Oui, je vais t'envoyer de l'argent. That some people have started to understand the root of the problem. Now, the leaders have to follow suit, because I think they are lagging a little bit behind. Il faut appeler un chat et un chien un chien. At a certain time, you have to leave everything and just say things for what they are. À la télévision et sur les plateaux, il y a peut-être que Equinox qui fait un peu d'effort, mais les autres, ils passent le temps à faire des bons salamalek, etc. The problem of Cameroon is quite simple. The French have corrupted the minds. They have adopted they went and found all the traitors they can find around the country to put them in government. So you have a government that is made essentially of sellouts of the country. Those are not patriots. Those are not real Cameroonians. All those people parading as president and minister, etc., ce sont les garçons de course de la France. And the people has to be told so. So what do you do of a garçon de course? You take a stick and kick him out. That's it.
Okay. You see, Nadia, to be honest with you, I started this platform in 2019 because I didn't see a talk valuing human being, positioning human being in the center. Here we believe that we can disagree, but we have to respect each other because we are human. And I was born in Cameroon, and I know that in Cameroon, some people treat others as animals. And I decided to make it a duty to remind everyone that we are human. No one is an animal. It is not about the size of your wallet. It is not about the number of degrees that you have, the number of houses where you live. We are human. And as a human, you must claim your humanism. Every human being must carry two things, at least, your values and your skill set. Most people don't have values. You just say Cameroonians are courageous. I don't think Cameroonians are courageous.
No, Cameroonians are courageous.
No, I will come back to you. No, we'll talk about that. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. I'm not running away from any topic here. Dr. Kamga is blaming the French. I disagree with him. We are adult. We are adult. Okay? It is not professional for a minister to be drinking, what was that? He was drinking alcohol. Comment tu le vin de palme en anglais? How do you call le vin de palme in English?
Palm wine.
Palm wine? Drinking palm wine in his office. Why will you do that? It is not professional. You don't drink alcohol in an office. He's an adult. Are we going to blame the French for that?
Yes, I do.
We have to.
I do, and I will explain to you why. I do, and I will explain to you why.
Mr. Nestor Nana, the policies of Cameroon.
Allow me to talk, and then I'll give you the floor. You guys will talk. Trust me. You know, I'll let you talk. I will not interrupt. But if we do not embrace responsibility, Nadia, you mentioned accountability. Okay? You have government accountability, you have individual accountability. And when we talk mindset, it starts with one person. You acknowledge your humanism, you embrace your values. Among the values you are embracing, togetherness, teamwork, inclusion. You embrace that for yourself as a person, as one person, for a better you. Why? A better you is better for everyone around you. So everyone needs to nourish those type of mindset individually first. Then together, we can act. But if we sit, do nothing to improve ourselves, and keep blaming the friends, guess what? Every time you point a finger like this, the other 4 fingers are looking at you saying you are wrong. We are not dead. We are all failing. We are all failing because we were supposed to be doing this job since 2018 when the vote was stolen. We were supposed to be doing this job since 2016 when they start killing fellow human beings. So we are all failures. People need to stop blaming the French and take accountability, individual accountability. Dr. Kamga, you have the floor.
Okay, I heard your point, and many people have made that point. What you fail to see or minimize it is the following. A lot of people who thought like you, who could have planted that seed you are trying to plant today, were physically eliminated by the French on purpose. I told you, I strongly advise you to read that book. It's all documented in there. Everything is documented in there. There were thousands and thousands of Cameroonians who thought exactly like you in 1950. Cameroon would have been a very different place had the French not physically eliminated them all. They did systematically eliminate them all. And those who listen, please listen to me. The Maïma tips and those people that were not strong enough, the French bought them. Even today, if Mr. Camto did not have a very strong will, the French would have bought him. And that's what they do. And that's what they keep doing. The minister who was drinking his palm wine, you really think that he's not thinking. His brain has been so twisted that he doesn't think like you and I. He doesn't think like a Cameroonian. All that he's interested in his little self. And those are all the people that the French and their supporters have systematically made sure that they always go in every region among your own family. They go and find those type of people to prop up. And in my view, it is when we can say those things that it will even wake up those people who are behaving that way without knowing that they have been programmed to behave that way.
Dr. Kambia, how
Yes,
much
sir.
are you, Dr. Kambia, accountable for the current temperature? How much?
For the current temperature,
Of Cameroon, yes.
yes,
How much?
I'm just as accountable as you or any other Cameroonian. I'm not blameless. I haven't done everything that I could have done. I'm trying to do the best I can do, but I must recognize that in my effort would be much more fruitful if I did not have around me people who they genuinely think they are doing good, but it is because they have been so programmed that they don't even realize that they are working against themselves.
Is it about the people around you or it is about you?
You are not alone. You are one of many. And generally, if you have a bag of oranges,
we will come back to that.
You can have 99 in there that are good and only 2 rotten would rot the whole system.
We will come back to that. Nadia,
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm there.
Very, very good. Very good. So, what is your point here? This is about individual accountability versus government accountability, and to be an adult, to stop blaming somebody else. to take some responsibility for our actions.
Yeah.
We are a group of adults. We cannot be blaming friends.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I go on?
Yes,
do I have the floor?
You have the
Can
floor.
I talk?
You have the floor.
Okay.
Nadia.
I first of all wanted to cue to the point of Mr. Pierre Kamga, because you know the rules and regulations of Cameroon is given by France. We should not forget that. We are still living, even though we are independent, we are still living in a period called imperialism and neocolonialism. If you can understand the definition, you would tell us that the France still have a strong hold in the policies implemented in Cameroon. So France is to be blamed, and not only in Cameroon, but in the whole of Africa. France is like, how can I call it? A bone in the throat of Africa. We all saw what happened during the summit, the Youth African France Summit. We saw how African youth had to express themselves to the aspect where France is handicapping most African countries. They no longer use what we call the assimilation. They use we are in a period of neocolonialism and imperialism. So France is to be blamed. On the other hand, now on individual accountability, I will tell you, you as a person, you're supposed to ask yourself, what have I done for my country to move forward? What have I done so that my country can change? What is my personal accountability to see that the Northwest and Southwest crisis has ended? Not only in the aspect of us, taking to the street or anything. How many people, how many IDPs have you kept in your house? How many of them have you schooled? How many of them have you given shelter? These are personal accountability. And this cannot really be transparent in Cameroon because we are having a system whereby they keep you hungry and they bring a plate of food to tempt you. And the weaker minds will fall. Are you there?
I'm here. Go ahead.
I cannot see you both. Okay, you're back. Like I was saying.
I gave you a solo layout so that you can expose your.
Okay. Yeah. Like I was saying previously, I said on personal accountability, it is very important for each individual to ask he or she herself, what have I done for my country to move forward? What have I done to end the Anglophone crisis? Will history hold me accountable for what is happening? And it cannot be so transparent in our government. We are living in a dictatorship government. I always take example from those from the MRC, okay? Most of them are in jail. They use the repressive method. They repress you, okay? They fight you. If you go on the street or you want to air out your mind, the government will handicap you. But that is still not enough for a patriotic Cameroonian. We had so many people that died, like the Omniobe, Félix Roland Moumié, they died for a good cause. It is better for you to live and die for a good cause than have so much money, ministerial posts, just because you want to feed yourself. And most of these people are not really, they do not become salt at one point because they want to, but because they are scared of their lives, they are scared of their children. They want to protect their interests. Let me tell you, Mr. Nana, I have some parliamentarians that called me into their office. They told me, Nadia, I didn't join the regime in place because I love them. No, because I want to protect my legacy. We also what happened with how they call La Poissonnerie Congécam.
Wait, and you bought that?
We also what happened with all the big companies in Cameroon. This is because the government uses the repressive method. If you are not in accord with them, if you want to fight them, they will fight you, and you cannot fight the Cameroon government individually.
So, Nadia,
we need a togetherness so that we can fight these people. Like he said, we are more than 25 million Cameroonians, and if together we can come together, we can fight. But individually, it is so difficult in Cameroon. Mr. Nana, you can have the liberty to speak how you are because you are out of the country. But what you say, I cannot say it in Cameroon. I cannot. Because immediately as I finish from a TV platform, les billes m'attendent dehors pour me prendre. Les essais m'attendent dehors, la gendarmerie. So, c'est pour te dire que l'atmosphère ou bien la liberté, la démocratie au Cameroun n'a pas atteint it has not arrived the peak. Okay? For Cameroonians to hold themselves accountable. A Cameroonian will tell you, I tried, and I couldn't. I'm scared of my children. I'm scared of jeopardize their goods, cannot give a true accountability of their own efforts to move Cameroon forward. It is difficult.
Okay, so anyway, I think we cannot cover this item completely. We have some disagreement here and some agreement. So we agree with the fact that if we can reshape the mindset of our fellow countrymen and women, we will be able to appreciate the change, execute and appreciate the change. But we are not in agreement on how possible it is to really get the mindset that we are looking for. Am I right or wrong?
If I may answer that, when we have changed enough minds that people start really fighting for what is important for Cameroonians and not what the French have put in their mind that is important, you will see things start to change. I would even take a limb and go as far as saying that in the current thing, even Mr. Paul Biya is a victim. He's not
He's a
really
victim.
He's not really ultimately our enemy. He is our brother. He has just been brainwashed to be working for the enemy. The real enemy sits over there, over the Mediterranean, on 550 square kilometers. They should never have left that land. They have nothing to do in Africa. And that's where they should go back.
Listen, you will never change your mindset if you continue with the blame game. Mindset is about accountability. It is about self-accountability. It is about being an adult and recognizing that you are an adult and that your mind is within you. It is not about what the other people did to you. It is how you react to what they did to you. It is the number of tools that you are using to face them. Nadia mentioned courage. We can add humility. We can add truthfulness. We can add teamwork, togetherness. Those are values.
Nana, can I add something to what you're just saying? There is something that just took my mind.
Go ahead.
Just more.
Go ahead, Nadia, go.
Yeah, because you said if we keep doing the blame game, we won't move forward. But let me tell you, if we do not know the causes, we cannot attack the consequences. And the cause of this trouble and the corrupt mindset we are having is France. We cannot divorce from that aspect. These are the causes, like the Anglophone crisis, the killings, the kidnaps, and all are the consequences of a war that is nurtured by a government who refuses to solve a problem they understand, to give Cameroonians what they want. So let me tell you, France is a cause. And you cannot solve the mindset of Cameroonians without touching the cause. So you will not tell us to divorce from that. We cannot.
Okay. But if
one sentence, if by a magical one you could get the French out of Cameroon, you'll see that the Cameroonian will solve the problem.
Very, 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 I disagree with that assessment, but this is my point. Pay attention to my process. I went from global to individual. I strongly believe that the global effect is directed by the individual effect. I told you earlier that a better you is better for everyone around you. So if we all agree to change our mindset individually, you are not changing your mindset just for your country. You are changing your mindset for a better you. You are changing your mindset for a better relationship with people around you. You are changing your mindset for a better career. You are changing your mindset for an ongoing improvement of your skill set. You are changing your mindset for many, many reasons. But the foundation is the mindset. And it is not about what they did to you. It is about how you respond to what they did to you. In life, you have three types of people. You have losers, winners, and spectators. Winners know how to pull people up. What losers do, they pull you down. They kill you or they reduce you. That's why people need to monitor their surroundings. No human being is a tree that they planted somewhere. God gave us feet. We can walk away. God gave us judgment. That's the distinction between a human and an animal, because you can use your judgment to move around. Now, I will recommend a book to all of you here because we spoke about mindset. The number one author in the world, she's a professor at Stanford in California. Her name is Carol Dweck. Here is the book. She did a research on mindset. She said there is a fixed mindset, there is a growth mindset. Fixed mindset, you think everything is written in stone, that nothing can change. Growth mindset, you can improve everything. It is not because you were born in a poor family that there is poverty in you. It is not because the friends came and dictated a particular way of behaving that we are always going to behave that way. Growth mindset. So we have to be very careful. We need to be accountable for our individual actions as adults. And from there, we will have a better nation. So for me, I don't care about what friends did. I'm not even going to talk about it. I don't give a damn about it, but I need to improve myself to feel like a human being. Like if I'm in the group where people don't treat me as like a human, then I can disagree them. I can leave the group. Period. No one is stuck in life.
Mr. Nestor Nana, can I?
Yes,
can
my dear.
I just want to say something briefly.
Go ahead.
Because you said that you don't care about what the friend has done and what they are doing.
Yes.
You do not want to talk about it. But let me tell you, if you as an individual do not know that your problem is friends, you will not be able to break through from them. Cameroonians need to know that our problem is friends. We need to be very conscious. And that's we're going to build a positive mindset, knowing that we are fighting against this person. That's what I think. Because you cannot have a positive mindset in a vague way.
No. Exactly. That's the point. That's the problem. That's why we're having this conversation. You don't build your mindset against. You build your mindset for growth.
Okay.
More growth.
If I may add something there. There's one thing. Again, I'm saying you need to read history. Let me give you one, please.
Dr. Tanja. What are you doing?
Nestor,
what are you doing?
Nestor, this is very important.
Listen, you need to come back and listen.
But let me finish the sentence. I'm sorry. When the French killed Umnive, what did they do with the body? Listen, it's very important, extremely important. If you don't understand those things, frankly, you will be doing all that and you are doing nothing.
We know what they did. Let me tell you what they did.
What did they do?
So you will know. They dragged his dead body.
Okay.
Because they wanted to beat down people psychologically. It is a mind game.
Okay.
That's why I said, listen, you need to pay attention too. You don't build your mindset against. It is not for revenge. It is for growth.
Okay.
This is what they did. Let me finish.
Now, but you interrupted me asking me to.
I will give you the floor. Okay. What they did was to condition people to become their photocopy, to live out of fear, meaning from outside actions, not from their abilities, not from inside capabilities. Listen, when you want to build your mindset, you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you are doing. If you don't know what I'm telling you, if Cameroonians see themselves as human, equal to everyone, removing the material factors, we are good to go. And that's what I'm doing here. You have the floor, Dr. Kambia.
All right, thank you. Hopefully you will not interrupt me when I say something that you don't like. Not only did they drag his body in the mud, they encased the body in concrete so that the next generation will not even have the possibility of looking at the body or touching any part of that body. Why did they go to that extent? Is exactly to instill in the mind of Cameroonians that now, if you want to build that mindset, you first have to know how that mindset was destroyed before you can build it. I'm telling you, I have
I just
several.
told you, Dr. Kambia, I just say you
No,
don't
I
build
told you,
your
I
mindset
told you, I
against.
told you, you have to be able to hear something that you
No,
don't
no,
like without
you're not paying
interrupting me.
attention to what I'm saying. You're not paying attention to what I'm saying. You
I'm
don't
paying,
build,
I'm paying attention.
you build your mindset
The difficulty is that whenever you hear something that you don't like, you have to silence the person. I'm telling you that I have friends who have been in school like you, like me, etc. We went through the same school, and somehow they have this reasoning. Je cite, il vaut mieux un lâche vivant qu'un héros mort.
Qu'un héros mort. Voilà.
They are convinced of that until you retool their brain and change that. You cannot go anywhere.
That's
Vaut mieux, listen, il vaut mieux un lâche vivant qu'un héros mort. That is completely opposite of what you are trying to do.
Okay, Dr. Kambia, we need to welcome our friends, what commission. Listen, this is a critical debate, okay? This is the center of everything we do. From liberating our country.
Please let me conclude. Let me learn, and then you can continue. What I'm saying is that il vaut mieux un lâche vivant qu'un héros mort. Please let me finish.
You're enlarging the negative. No,
we have to turn that into il vaut mieux un héros mort qu'un lâche vivant.
You shouldn't be saying that either. You see, that's the problem. Listen,
Mr. Nestor, Nana, Cameroonians work with ideology. It is an ideology we are supposed to build. I am in accord with what Mr. Pierre Nkambia is saying, because that slogan works a lot for Cameroonians. They have that mindset, and if we do not remove that, nothing will change.
No.
You can see from now to tomorrow, but what has instilled in their brain is il faut mieux un lâche vivant qu'un héros mort. We need to.
No, it's not what they say. No.
A lot of people in think that way.
No, we will come back. Guys, we will come back to that. I'm telling you, we will have a talk on mindset. I will submit the topic. You will do some research so that we are on the same page. Let me welcome our friend Watko Mason from India. He's in India. Watko.
Oui, je suis en Inde. Vous m'écoutez?
You are joining us from India. Welcome.
Bienvenue.
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Oui, on vous suit.
Okay. If you are understood well, we are in this panel to ask ourselves how to stop this war who is going on in the northwest and southwest. Is it right?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know, sometimes we always think that is by touching what happened before who is the solution. In just 3 minutes, I will read for you something here. I'm going back for COVID so that many people will understand the reason why the government cannot stop the war in the northwest and southwest, and the reason cannot go inclusive dialogue. I have one paper in front of me here. Allow me just 3 minutes, Nana, please. According to me, is the reason why the war is still going on and cannot stop. I have in front of me here concerning only COVID. Paul Atanganji, 1.4 billion, which he have stolen. Betty Asomo, 3.5 billion. Manasseh Ngale, 1 billion. Achille Bazileke, 2.6 billion. Bubabelo Magari, 1.7 billion. René Sadie Emmanuel, 420 million. Alamin Usman May, 26 billion. Gregoire Oona, 1 billion. All those people are the people who are handling our government. Look at the amount of money, and they are not alone. You have here Malova Lyonga, 7 billion. You have Dodo Joke, 6 billion. You have Mbargagele, 3 billion. The list is so long. When you understand already that all the government are involved in billions stolen, are you expecting them to stop the crisis who is going to Norwest and Southern so that they will be arrested? I say no. Those are the only few names I just record. It will take long to call all those names, and you guys will have it here. Now, I'm coming to join our sister who was on the panel, who says that the journalists are the one to help the population by let them know what is going on and what they should do. Last 2 days, I saw a message for President Maurice Kamto saying that some leaders of Anglophone region should resign. But I want to complete what he said by saying all people who are working in the Cameroon government should resign, because all of them, when you go face to face to them, they are the first person to say what is happening in Norwest and Southwest is not good. What is happening in the government is not good. All of them are complaining. But knowing that the government today, all of them have done things that they know they are said that their place is in Konengi, is in prison. There is no way they can arrange the situation in Cameroon, because once the situation will be arranged, they will be forced to give back all what they have stolen, and they will be forced to go to prison. Are you sure somebody can wake up in the morning and say, okay, I have done too much, I'm going to prison? No, nobody will do that. And the second option is to take gun, like our brothers in Norwest or Southwest, who is not a good solution. Today, we are crying children who have died because of gun. So that solution is not possible. So the only solution now is the population to go out. And the population to go out, those who are working in the government have to take a decision and say, we drop everything. We are 28 million Cameroonians. Maximum 3 million Cameroonians are working in the government, and they are the one holding the country. If they drop their tools, if they stop, they said, from today, we will take Ben skin. We will not work again. I think that the 2 million who are working in the government, I think that those who are handling those powerful members of government, they will not have any way to do. If doctors are not working, if teachers are not working, if labor are not working, I think the government will step down. Looking a reason, in a way, it will not work. Most of people who have influence on social media have to take the declaration of President Maurice Kamto seriously. If already, as he say, all the minister, all the population for Northwest and Southwest who are working in the government, if they step down, they say they are not working anymore because of their children, their mother, their father who are being killed. I think that something will happen. On top of it, our French community have to follow that one. For now, I think I will stop there. What I was to say.
Okay, now let me ask you a follow-up question from what you said. Do you think that we have the mindset to do what you're recommending, like having the teachers to not go to school and teach and get people on the street? Because these solutions are good solutions, but do we have the mindset for it? Are we mentally prepared for it?
We have it. Very more than 100% prepared. More than 100% prepared. We are really prepared. Only if you don't know Cameroonians. Cameroonians like advertisement. Cameroonians like publicity. If the media approve that, and those one they call lanceur d'alerte, if all of them they start make advertisement about it, Cameroonians love that. They will just follow. Cameroonians are followers.
If I may there.
Okay.
I think we are being naive.
Oh.
Yes, Cameroonian will follow. Well, I mean, can I say a word? I mean, you may want to...
No, judgment are not good. That's the point. That's all.
Okay.
You just say naive.
But can I say one word before being interrupted? I haven't said anything. You heard naive and then you jump in.
No, Dr. Kamga, that's a judgment. I don't expect that from you. Go ahead.
It's not a judgment. It's a, well, yes, it is a judgment. But you need to understand why I say that.
I don't expect that from you. You can say something else.
No. I say what I say. I say,
Dr. Kamga, you could say the same thing differently. I know you have the...
But I speak the way I speak, you speak the way you speak, he speaks the way he speaks.
But
so I say,
we don't judge people.
It's not, I'm not judging.
I don't blame people for what they don't know, okay? We spoke about the mindset. I didn't blame anyone. Mr. Walker,
right. But if you interrupt me at every word, there's no way you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead.
I say we are being naive because all those things are based on if this and if that and if that. What if not? The issue is that Cameroonian, we can make advertisement, etc., and they are going to do all what we say. But until we inculcate in them that sense of self against anything, when they hear the first gunshot, they are going to run away. That's what happened during the previous marches that were organized. People went there and then they shoot a few guns and then they run away. And that is the way they are going to be treated every single time. So our role, at least my role as I see it, is to bring them to the point where they would be willing to actually face those guns, because I know from having observed other people that when they are in numbers enough, nobody is going to even try to shoot the gun. But if you are only a few hundred, they are going to wrap you and throw you in jail. That has been how they have been able to break all those things. Our role is to try to bring people to realize that, hey, in numbers, they have what it takes to turn around the situation.
Dr. Kamga, I think you didn't pay attention to Mr. Wako, because I strongly agree with what he said. And we have some precedents. You like history. Based on what he said Cameroonians are courageous. They like advertising. They like when you talk to them. And we remember Bafang, where the population was able to dominate. Come on. We have stories of courage from Cameroon.
And that was not due to any advertisement. That was a genuine inherent thing.
No. Now you are the one interrupting me because I was about to explain.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
In Bafa, okay, they have been listening to social media. They have been talking among themselves. Not only Bafa, it happened even in the south, in Ebolowa, I think, where a division officer went, invited the resident, and no one showed up. So Cameroonian can make decisions. So what Mr. Watko is saying is critical. I am buying into it. I think what we need to do is to organize a little more, as he's suggesting, making sure that we are pushing the same envelope, because right now we have a lot of distractions and change might happen. Mr. Watko, what do you think?
Mr. Nana, I want to remind to Doctor that what makes the failure of the last match in Cameroon, it's because there was some political party, because of their stomach, sensibilize their population not to go out, because it's Maurice Kamto who give order. So they should not go out. We see on social media some Cameroonian arresting another Cameroonian because they went out and give to the police.
Yes.
That is something we have to understand. And then I want to tell Doctor that as I'm talking, I was one of the person who was out on the street. I was out of the street, and I know what happened on the street. If you, Doctor, you are telling people to go out, and me, another side, I'm telling people not to go out, that is already a population who is divided, because you have people who believe on you, I have people who believe on me. But if both of us, we are one mouth and say that people should go out, all of them, there will be no place for a police ever to stand. That one, trust me. We have here SDF who was not ready to send these people out. We have PCRN who was not ready to send their people out. We have UPC. We have so many political parties who was not ready to tell their people to go out. Only the MRC and activists. So MRC and activists are not all of the Cameroon. So from there, you understand that Cameroon has been divided by more than 10 political parties, and it's only MRC who give order to go out. And it's only MRC, as you can see, it's only MRC who are in prison.
Do you know who is behind that?
If other political party have drawn the idea
behind that, do you know who is behind that division?
No.
You don't know?
It's a good question. No, it's the government.
Let me tell you who is behind.
The government.
Yeah, tell me.
It's not even just the government. It is study cells at Elysee Palace. That's the way it goes.
No, doctor, excuse me, doctor. That is not my point of view. All of us, even children, even newborn baby, knows already that the French are behind it. So we already know that one. Now the question is what to do to release ourselves from those French. Exactly. That's what the question is. You can see today. You can see today in Mali. You can see today in Central Africa how population have taken over the things. They didn't wait for government to decide and chase away the same France. So if we have to bring the topic of France, we already passed that level. If we talk about topic of France,
let me try one thing here. Cameroon seems to be a very particular country.
Yes, brother.
In Mali, in Togo, etc., they have one major advantage that we don't have. Our Achilles tendon is the Africa in miniature that we have. A lot of diversity, more diverse than a lot of African countries. And the enemy has always used that diversity to turn it against us. We have to become creative enough to actually turn that diversity to be a strength. They can do that in Mali because in Mali, just using the Muslim religion, they can rally a lot of people. In Cameroon, we are divided almost equally between all different poles, and the enemy has a field day using those divisions against us. Our role is to try to bring our compatriots to understand that that division should actually be a strength. That we should recover that diversity to be a strength rather than division.
And it is possible, yes? Is it possible?
I think it is possible if we insist on humanity, of the common humanity, the common human values, as you have been trying, Nestor Nana, to preach. That is how we bridge that diversity is simply different flavors of the same humanity. And if you want to make a good soup, you actually need all those different flavors.
Ingredients, yes. So now listen, we spent 1 hour and 31 minutes on one topic. Okay? I had 6 topics here, so I don't think we are going to cover.
We cannot.
I think we are going to postpone this conversation. We will come back another time, I think.
That's right.
But before we separate, I have 2 questions. Only 2 simple questions. Please don't go too far. But promise me that you will come back. Wako, I want you to be coming back often, okay? And Nadia too, to be coming back
every
often.
time.
So that we can be talking, because we need to work on the mindset. That's our mission. Now, my question is, are you optimistic or pessimistic that the war in Cameroon will end anytime soon?
That's a difficult question. I am optimistic because I'm an optimist. But on the facts, the crux of the matter, until the Cameroonian people in general can acknowledge that our brothers and sisters who are of English-speaking culture have been very poorly treated in the Union, that's not going to happen. The day that we actually recognize that, I think it will really help things. But as long as we behave as though, say Biafra, what do they want, etc., is not going to stop.
Just to help you with this, Dr. Kanya, it is a few bad seeds in this regime that are behaving the way you are saying, but most of us are not behaving that way, because at least most of us are civilized. Mr. Wako, are you pessimistic or optimistic that this war will end very soon?
Starting the war is very easy. To end it is complicated. But for this particular one, no matter, even if God come from up and land in Cameroon, this war will never end if this government in Cameroon still in place. And when we talk about government in Cameroon, it's like 100 people. Those people, we know their name, from Gongo to Gregoire Ona, and all this. As long those people still there, as long their children still taking place, you are free to believe me or not, no West and Southwest will stop, because they will manage to separate from Cameroon, and the Bamileke people will start their own. And when Bamileke people will start their own, Grand Nord will start their own, if this government is still there. So the most important thing is, as I said earlier, is to put all the tools. Right now in the diaspora, since yesterday, we have decided that nobody in the Cameroon government and nobody who have power to talk to people will put again their legs in Europe, because Europe is the center, is the central of everything in Cameroon. When somebody have already a small position. His life is direct Europe. Everything he do is Europe. So if we block Europe, that nobody in, nobody go on, I think it will affect them in Cameroon, and they will start look a way forward. And by the time diaspora is blocking all the movement in Europe, the sensibilization and Cameroon television, they have to be sensibilized population all the time. Because let me tell you, something is going to happen in Cameroon very soon about grey and grey. And there is someone will come out and say everybody should go out. We are not going to accept it. So before that time reach, we have to start prepare the population. This language where we always say that the population cannot go out, population cannot go out, is a way of telling them don't go out. So we have to keep sensibilize all the population that the things are not going well in Cameroon. When I start here, I start tell you about billion being stolen from Cameroon. So those are the language we have to use with Cameroonians, expose what is happening and tell them what is their right. So to answer your question, no, it will not end very soon.
Okay. Nadia.
Yeah.
Are you optimistic or pessimistic that the ongoing war that started since 2016 will end very soon?
Yeah, Nestor Nana, I am very, very pessimistic. And I just wanted to say something briefly. The war didn't start in 2016, okay? This war is the historical trouble. It started since 1972 when the federal constitution was changed. So it is just an accumulated grievance that exploded in 2016. Now, let me tell you, the war ongoing in the Northwest and Southwest is an asymmetric war type. And it is very, very difficult for it to end just like that. We all saw what happened in Afghanistan with the United States. They had to pack their luggages and go in for diplomatic reasons. They had to go for a diplomatic bargain. So it is very difficult for an asymmetric war to just end like that. They practice the guerrilla method. And now, this war is a war of an economic gain. When I tell you a war of an economic gain, it means on both parties, they are fighting for a personal interest. It is not even for the people. It is a war of an economic gain. And they that are benefiting from this war will keep nurturing this war for it to continue. That is why you will see there are continuous killing in these regions. In Boya, at one point, we noticed that there was tranquility. Normalcy came to this zone. But within the twinkle of an eye, things became revolted there. Just because they that are gaining from the war wanted to tell people that war is still ongoing in these places because they need some versions from the international communities and NGOs. Let me tell you, Mr. Nestor Nana, those 2,000 bags of rice given even by the Vietnamese, it is not because there is a war there or they want to assist the IDPs. No. It is because they that are nurturing this war, they want people to keep helping them so that they keep embezzling these things. We all saw what happened with the Oka, the rice, the bags of rice given by Oka. It disappeared. It didn't reach the destination, those that were supposed to receive these things. So it's to tell you that it is a war of an economic gain. There are people who are gaining from the war, and so they will not want the war to end. They wouldn't. You will not want your company to fall. It's a company for so many people. They are making fat from the war. So it will be very, very difficult for the war to end. And the method in which the war is being practiced is an asymmetric war front. It is very difficult for it to end. So let us pray it doesn't even last just for 20, it just lasts for 20 years. In the next 10 years, this war will keep going. We are still going to have random killings. And the only solution is for they that are nurturing this war, is for them to be put to book. And it's called by the population. Cameroonians need to go to the streets. Because we know they that are nurturing the war. It is the Cameroon government. It is the wicked diaspora who are living out of the country. They are the ones gaining from the war. So if we have known our enemy, the common enemy, and we know the means they are using, and we know the gain, we can end the war. And that is very difficult with our Cameroon context. Why? Because they use what we call the divide and rule method. Look at politicians in Cameroon today. Politicians, they don't even care. One politician will say X, another one will say Y. Why? Because the government has divided them. The regime in place has divided them so that they cannot come together to say enough is enough and let us stop this war. So I think it is very difficult for this war to stop. One, it is an asymmetric war front. It is a war of an economic gain. And two, and three, the government uses the divide and rule method so that Cameroonians and political parties, civil society, NGOs, international community will not understand. So it is very difficult for the war to end. Let us pray for the next 20 years, we'll keep having random killings. It is difficult.
But you know that there are some political parties that met to review
the electoral code.
Yes.
Yeah. In the beginning of this thing, the review of the electoral code, Mr. Nestor Nana, let me tell you, you can review the electoral code. You can do all what you want. But if that regime is still there, if we are still having a crook government, there will not be a free and fair election in Cameroon. Review how you want. Nothing will happen.
But why did your political party didn't participate?
My political party didn't participate because, you know, UPC is having a lot of issues. Even in elections, we didn't go in for the twin elections. Not because we didn't want to go, but because the regime.
How do you have an issue when Atangaji is giving you the Congress, the Congress palace for your meetings?
Okay, let me explain to you. You know, the UPC, like my co-panelist, Mr. Pierre, said previously, it is a party that was strong in the days of the 1950s, 1960s. The independence that is being sabotaged by the regime in place was promulgated by the UPC. It is because the UPC they have leaders today who are fabricated by the government, fabricated by France to destroy us. That is why you see a lot of division. Why? Because they know that if the UPC concurs with the ideology of Umnyobe, there will be a transition in Cameroon. There will be alternance in Cameroon. That is why you see we are so much divided. We didn't participate for the twin elections. Our lists were being rejected. Why? Because this person will bring his own list. The other person will bring his own list. And let me tell you, Mr. Nana, let me not cut you there.
Dr. Kamga, it's not a political
question.
I'm not, you cannot ask a question on politics. Go ahead.
No, we are having a very dangerous government, a crooked government. They are the ones dividing the UPC because you cannot imagine. I say I am a secretary general of a party. According to our constitution, I am the general overseer of the party. I go for a degree at the Minat. He signs it. Another person comes in. I am from the UPC. He signs it. They sign every document they see, not minding who is legal or who is illegal. So it means that they are the ones destroying the party for a purpose.
What I was just trying to say was that I have really come to appreciate Ms. Nadia for the ideas I've heard from her, and I would like Mr. Nana to give you my contact so that we can continue this exchange of ideas later.
No, she'll be coming on the platform, Dr. Kamga. You want to come? What are you trying to do? To recruit to the CRM? She's the secretary of UPC.
You never know. Maybe I can.
She has a lot of
maybe I can get her over.
No, Nadia, he's trying to get you to join the CRM. That's how he does. No, listen, I'm not going to be responsible for that. We are going to be talking here on the platform. Nadia will be coming. You'll be coming. And I will get other people involved so that we talk about our native land. I hope for peace in our country. We need to
I was surprised by my other two co-panelists. They are more pessimistic than I am. I'm an eternal optimist. I think the war is going to end, but it may take the people to actually go to the street. I think that's the solution, actually.
Anyway, I will give you the last word to conclude. Each of you, please do it like in 1 minute. And my promise is we will come back. we need to bring peace back to our country. We need to build the character of our fellow countrymen and women for a better Cameroon and better Cameroonian on earth. So, Dr. Kamga, your conclusion, please.
My conclusion is that I do not think that this thing is going to end without some form of really show of strength by the Cameroonian people, who have to actually come out in masses like that has happened everywhere else and overthrow this government. Because they did do their duty at the ballot in 2018. Nobody has paid attention to that. This government has never won an election in Cameroon since the 1950s, and at some point we have to recognize that it's not going to work. It's going to take a rapport force to do that. Hopefully, people will come to that conclusion, and if they are numerous enough, I'm sure there will not be a single shot, gunshot that will be fired. If they are not numerous enough, yes, they are going to be arrested and thrown in jail.
Excellent.
As for the war, if the Cameroon people take to the street, that war will stop. Because after all, that's all they need. They just need us to understand them and know that we have treated them wrong. And I know the Cameroon people know that it is only a handful of people in government that are doing what they do for their own personal interests.
Hello, Nadia.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kamga. Thank you for your conclusion. This is your turn to conclude.
Yeah. I just wanted to send a strong message to the commanditors of this war, because it is a war of an economic gain. So they are nurturing the war because they want to keep their company moving. But let me send them a strong message. No matter how much you nurture the war, no matter how long the war takes place, nothing lasts forever. Even iron, as the most durable good on earth, still has an expiring date. And they that are nurturing the war, history will hold them accountable. The future generation will hold them accountable, and they will not go unpunished. The blood of Cameroonians being spilled on daily basis is speaking on the earth of Cameroon. The soil of Cameroon is soiled. And I call upon all Cameroonians to be brave enough to triumph over fear, repression, and all what the Cameroon government can bring at the table. We are the ones who can bring a permanent solution to this war. And it takes courage, it takes objectiveness, and it takes visualization for us to go to the streets and conquer. Because we are more than 25 million inhabitants in Cameroon. If we all come together, go to the streets, demand for our rights, say enough is enough, we can overthrow this regime and change things in Cameroon, because 75% of the war is nurtured by the regime. That is all what I can say. Cameroonians should be brave. They should not fear the repression. Go on the streets and fix your country. It is our country. It is our beloved country. And let us not take our Africa in miniature as a disadvantage. It should be a stepping stone and not a stumbling block to our force.
Excellent. What a conclusion.
Very
what
well
a conclusion. Who can say better than this? Listen, Nadia, I am very proud of you. We are here to support the youth also, to make sure that the world know that in Cameroon, we have brightness. They are not only bright, they are also beautiful. They are not only beautiful, they also know how to speak. And they are not only men, they are also women. We need to show that here. And to go from there, call on all of us around the world, and say, listen, we need to join hands and put an end to this war. It's not about where you are, it is about where you are going. We are going into peace, we are going into prosperity. Until next time, I will see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great evening.
It was
everyone.
a pleasure meeting each of you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't go yet. Stay. Everyone, stay.